Yo. What's going on? How y'all doing out there? Thank y'all for tuning in. We are back. Oh, wait, I am back. Wait, you see it? Yeah, guys. Yeah, listen. I know. Last week you saw me by my lonesome. This week you see me by my lonesome, but that doesn't mean we ain't rocking. Unfortunately, duty calls, man. You know, as I said before, real life stuff happens. And this doing podcasting and being here for you guys and putting on shows, it's a labor of love. But we can't quit our day jobs just yet. So some of us have stuff we have to deal with at work, man. And today's John's day. And actually, it's Jose's day too. So yeah, man, my day is coming. I'm looking at my schedule. Maybe late in October, I may have to take off one of these, and John may have to hold it down. But we'll cross that point when we get there, man. But this is how it is. So thank you guys for tuning in and being here. Appreciate y'all. Welcome to the NBA report once again. We are back. I was thinking about it, and I kind of like to switch it up and mix it up here and there. Maybe, I don't know if I want to do it once every month, but maybe once every 2 months or something like that. I do think that the fan hour is a good look. I think that's something that we should try to incorporate. We should always try to get you guys involved as much as possible. You know what I mean? Like we definitely love to hear from you guys. Appreciate you guys in the chat, but when we do the fan hour, it's a little better. It's even more special because you guys can kind of dictate what you want to talk about, create the discussion points, and we'll go from there, and we'll lock it in. But keep in mind, it is the NBA report. I know some of y'all want to talk about the Knicks. We can talk about the Knicks. I have no problem with that. I also want to kind of get into some of the stuff going around the NBA. This is the start of NBA training camp. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think September 30th, which is tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Wow. I think Golden State Warriors have their first preseason game tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to check that again. But I think that is the case. NBA preseason start. Let's see what we got going on. Yep. Tomorrow. What? That's a weird time. This is some weird times. The NBA schedule is looking funky. It says NBA tomorrow at 6 a.m. Golden State versus Washington. Now that obviously can't be right. I don't know what the time frame is, but apparently it is tomorrow. No, tomorrow. So Golden State plays Washington tomorrow in the first game. So that should be interesting. We're kicking it off, folks. We're kicking it off. And if I'm not mistaken, Golden State also just released their roster for 2022-23 training camp. And I'm just going to read this real quick because they are the defending champions. You know what? Why not? They deserve it. So, looks like the roster is Patrick Baldwin Jr., Steph Curry, Dante DiVincenzo, Draymond Green, JaMychal Green, Andre Iguodala, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevin Looney, Mac McClung, Moses Moody, Jordan Poole, Lester Quinones, Jerome Robinson, Ryan Rollins, Pat Spencer, Klay Thompson, Quindry Weatherspoon, Andrew Wiggins, Travion Williams, and James Wiseman. Now, obviously, some, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 8. Looks about 20 guys. So, yeah, obviously, this roster is going to get chopped down by the end of the preseason when we get into the regular season. But yeah, this is your Golden State Warriors for right now. Interesting. And I don't know. The other thing is we don't even know, like, getting into the training camp, like throughout training camp and the start of the regular season. I'm sure to start the regular season, Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole will both be on the team. But one of them, maybe Wiggins, possibly might get traded before the trade deadline. Or maybe they just play it out. Maybe they just play it out and say, listen, at the end of the season, he walks. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on how good Golden State is. If they look like they're in real contention to repeat, they might just play it out. And if Wiggins walks, he walks. I mean, hey, that, they have a chance to win another championship. And if you get 2 championships, back to back with Wiggins on the team, and then he walks in free agency, I mean, how many organizations will be mad about that? So, yeah, that's interesting. We'll see where it goes from here. Shout out to the chat. Deron Wayne in the building. Sherwin is here. Mr. Vince is in the building. Sanga Waldron is here. Greg is here. Cormeg is in the building. Brooklyn Butch, Louisiana Knicks, East Blue Drew is here. Yeah, man. Yeah, Craig. Yeah, he's okay, man. He just, like I said, he's got a work thing. So our real life stuff does play into to our night job, if you want to say it like that. Yeah, and I have that. I actually run into some problems myself. Sometimes we got events or different things that we put on our late night meetings in which I'm kind of stuck and I can't get out of them. But it's been pretty quiet on my end, but it's going to pick up. So that time is coming. So anyway, but thank you for asking. Thank you for being concerned. Yeah, guys. So listen, as I said, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. You guys can create the narrative for the show. This is your show. So use your time wisely. Bring it up. I'll talk about it. Sherwin, this is your time to shine. All your conspiracy theories and OB hate, this is your time to put it all out there, I guess. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you think. Geraldine McKibba, First Lady of Still Nick fans in the building and supporter of all shows, far and wide. Nothing but Knicks, all types of shows. She supports everything. Geraldine is great. Appreciate you, Geraldine. Almighty Finesse in the building. What's good? What's good? So while you guys are thinking about what you want to talk about, feel free to put that in the chat and we'll chop it up. Wait, Deron Wayne, did you say from Japan? Are you in Japan? Because that's far and wide, B. Ruffin Fam is in the building. He says the Atlanta Hawks. So listen, I mean, if that's your team, if that's who you're rocking with, or that's who you want to hear about, we can talk about Atlanta a little bit. I will say that from what I can tell, things look pretty good over there. I mean, they seem to be pretty happy with what they got. Their new look team has been something of that. That Trae Young is very happy. He's got some different type of weapons. I think he's really excited that DeJounte Murray is there because it allows him to be able to just play his game and do what he's got to do. And then you have another guy who can facilitate, who's also a very good defender, especially in the passing lanes and the steals, the way he creates havoc. which is going to allow Atlanta to play a little faster, I think. So I think, I mean, their media day seemed to be pretty fun. I mean, I don't know, what to expect from them yet, because, like I said, to me, this team is going to be a little different from what we're used to. Uh, we know Dejounte Murray's not a big perimeter scorer; he's more inside or mid range, definitely in the paint. So we got to see, does this change them? Because some of us used to call them Golden State East because of the way they would shoot threes. Are they going to be a little different? Are they going to play a little bit more mid-range basketball? Are they going to attack the basket more? We got to see how it plays out. I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, they still got the good core in place, a lot of good, interesting talent, and then my guy from Duke is over there too. So we'll see. Let's take a look at their roster real quick and see who they got going on. So and we talked about this a little bit last week. So right now they've got Tyson Etienne, AJ Griffin from Duke, Tyrese Martin, Malik Ellison, Jalen Johnson, Armani Brooks, Trent Forrest, Aaron Holiday, DeJounte Murray, Frank Kaminsky, Justin Holiday, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Clint Capella, Onyeka Okongwu, John Collins, Jarrett Culver, Vit. Ooh, this one got me. Vit Krejci. I think that J is silent. I think it's Vit Krejci, and Chris Silver. So that's their squad for now for the preseason. I got to tell you, when we looked at it last week, Atlanta looks okay, man. They don't look bad. That's an interesting squad. They might be a tough team to face throughout the season if they play right, because they for whatever reason Atlanta goes up and down. We don't know. Those are the Jekyll and Hyde teams right there. Boston was there last year, but I think they snapped out of it, so I won't include them anymore. But those were the three teams. It was Boston, it was Atlanta, and it was the Charlotte Hornets. Like, you just didn't know what team you were going to see. But maybe they got it together. We'll see. We'll see. That's nice, Almighty Finesse. He says, I'm tight we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers got him. And they look pretty good because of it. I can take a look at their roster as well. I see East Blue Drew wants to talk about Tibbs rotations. We can definitely do that. Let me star that so I come back to it. But let's take a look at Cleveland's roster and see what that is looking like. And I'm sorry, guys, if I can't really share it with you. This, like I said, I still got to figure out a way to get a different browser to use for these Thursday shows for the NBA Report, because the browser I'm using, it does not work well with StreamYard. And unfortunately, I know you guys are like, oh, well, why don't you just switch the browser? It's a little bit more intricate than that. And I'm working here as a part of the Nothing But Knicks crew, but I am not Sim, so I can't just change what he's got. Like, he has his browser that he uses. I use the same one, but when you're using StreamYard, like, not everybody can use it. Like, you give access, but he's the guy with it, so I can't just switch it. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. I know some of y'all are like, what? But yeah, it's just not how it works. So yeah, let me take a look at the Cleveland Cavaliers and their roster. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Kevin Love, who's been a Cavalier forever. Kevin Love. See, this is why I don't like, guys. As a fan, you got to be frustrated with this. The first name I see on the Cleveland Cavaliers is Kevin Love. Can you guess who the second name is? Sharif. They cut Sharif Cooper. Why is he still on the NBA.com Cleveland Cavalier? Oh, wait, I'm bugging. You know what it is? Because I'm seeing him in the Atlanta Hawks uniform. I'm forgetting he was with Atlanta. They cut him. No, he's a Cleveland Cavalier. Okay. All right. Forget what I said. I take it back. Good job, NBA. I'm bugging out because they got him here and I'm looking at him and I was like, I just saw the Atlanta Hawks. It's stuck in my head. Yeah. So look at that. He's a Cleveland Cavalier. Now that's an interesting pickup. What do you guys think about that? Huh. I don't know, guys. I mean, I know Sharif Cooper hasn't really shown much right now, but when he was drafted to be like a baby Trae Young. He hasn't shown the full potential as of yet. He struggled shooting. I think he was shooting 20+% from 3-point range, which is and he just didn't. I think maybe he lacked some of the confidence that he had, prior to making the NBA, because we know the dude has great court vision. He sees the whole court. He's a good passer. He can break down his defender and get to the hoop. The shooting is probably the only, and the defense is probably two issues that he can struggle at. But if they could get him to like really build on his confidence and get him to playing ball like he used to play ball, that why people noticed him, I don't know, man. That could be interesting. Like him coming off the bench when Garland is taking a breather. It's not bad. Just saying. If he can kind of play up to some of his potential. So Kevin Love, Sharif Cooper, Karis LeVert, Evan Mobley, RJ Nembhard Jr. He's an interesting player. Lamar Stevens, Dylan Windler, who can really shoot the lights out of the ball, but we haven't really seen a lot of that with him. He's got the ability, we just haven't really seen it. Darius Garland, Mamadi Diakite, I think that's Diakate, maybe. I don't know, guys. I don't want to butcher people's names. I can't really, I'm not used to it. I haven't really heard the pronunciation. So Mamadi, okay. Ricky Rubio is still here, apparently. Nate Hinton, excuse me. Isaiah Mobley, Seti Osman, Raul Neto, Jamarco Pickett, Jared Allen, Dean Wade, Robin Lopez, Isaac Okoro, and Donovan Mitchell. Ooh, it just hurts. It hurts to even see him there. I don't like it. Don't like it. I don't know. This Cleveland team, they got some players, but they just feel weird to me. I don't know why. It's like it's a interesting bunch of people on this team. The real mix match. We'll see. We'll see, guys. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. We'll see. We'll see what it turns out to be. But I'm sure they'll be interesting. They'll be a team that's going to be tough. And they're definitely ahead of the Knicks and some other teams. They're right there in that middle of the pack, probably somewhere around 6, 7, maybe 5 even. I don't know about 5, but 6, 7 around there. Yeah, okay. I see East Blue Drew. Tibbs rotations is going to be a make or break for us. Yeah, it might be. It might be. Well, thank you, Ruff and Fam. Appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm a Knicks fan. I love the Knicks with all my heart. I really, honestly, up until like 2-3 years ago, I couldn't care less about any of these other teams around the league. But I just learned to love basketball even more. So some of these teams, I do respect what they have going on. And then once we decided to do the NBA report and start covering some of these other teams, I really respect them even more. Like looking at how they put their teams together, what it takes to be good in the playoffs, their philosophies. You respect it. I mean, I wish my Knicks were, in that same realm right now, but you know what? Maybe in time they'll get there. But I do think that it is good to talk about some of these other teams, especially the teams in the East, because I like seeing how those teams, how it's going to affect the Knicks, how the Knicks can prepare for these teams, who they got to look out for, what's the teams that they're going to be chasing, and what are the teams that are right there with them that they have to really worry about and be ahead of throughout the year. Off the top of the head, teams like that are like the Atlantas, the Charlottes, the Detroits, the Orlandos. The Knicks got to watch these teams, and they got to stay one step ahead of them. That's the only way to have a really successful season, and also to have a chance to get into the play-in and possibly the playoffs. So, yeah, but definitely respect to these teams, and respect to the Atlanta Hawks and Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, and we definitely we'll sprinkle some Knicks in there, but we definitely want to be able to talk about some of these other teams on the NBA report. We just got to. That's the point. We got to try to, because you know what, we're gonna talk Knicks 24/7 regardless. Monday night still Knicks fans is Knicks. Saturday still Knicks fans is Knicks, and then nothing but Knicks every day is Knicks. So we're gonna try. But I hear you, Geraldine. We never forget our roots. We don't forget where we come from. Okay, so all right. Let me put these two hand in hand. And salute to Dripmore. I see you, Keith Turner, in the building. All right, for the love of the game, my guys. Shout out to Hardwill and Worldwide L for the love of the game. Once again, guys, if you haven't checked them out, if you're new, please check out For the Love of the Game. That's the number 4, OUR, Love of the Game. Check them out, man. Great content. They're hitting us with more and more shows lately too. I see y'all revving up the schedule. Appreciate y'all, man. Keep doing that great work, man. Putting together good content, man. Really good content. So let me get to East Blue Drew's question. And while I'm doing that, I'll spin that into Keith Turner's question. So, all right. East Blue Drew wanted to talk about Tibbs's rotations. As a Knicks fan, let me tell you guys, this is probably my biggest concern. I don't think that there's anything I'm more concerned about than Tom Thibodeau's rotations. I think this is the make or break thing for me as a fan. This is what will tell me if Tom Thibodeau should be and should remain the Knicks head coach, or if they got to get him out of here. Because he's a great basketball mind. He's really good at what he does. He's well respected throughout the league. And, I don't want to be that guy that just hates on somebody for no reason. And I also want to give people fair shots. But Tom Thibodeau has to. I mean, it is 100%. He has to take a look at this team in real time. Don't just give me now. When I say this, I don't have a problem with his starting rotation. Whoever he wants to start, he starts. I don't care, to be honest with you. I know some of y'all are maybe a little upset about that. Maybe there's certain guys you want to see, like Cam Reddish or Quentin Grimes in the starting lineup. If it happens, it happens. Either way, I don't care. All I care about is who actually plays throughout the game and who's needed, because I'm a Knicks fan above all else, right? So all I care about is who gives the guys the best chance to win, who goes out there and is giving their all and looking like, they're trying to get the victory, but also who Tibbs realizes is the right person for whatever team we're playing, whoever's out there. So opening night, for example. Well, opening night is in Memphis, right? I'm trying to figure out. I forgot. I think we played Detroit. Is Detroit our first preseason game? Because it might be, but whatever. Let's just use Detroit for example. If we go out there against Detroit, right, and say Jaden Ivey is killing us, just killing us, smacking us around. He's running up and down the court because he's very similar to John Morant, how he runs, right? Say he's running up and down the court and no one can stay with him. I want to be able to see a Quentin Grimes come in and try to slow him down. Now, obviously, we won't see Quentin Grimes. I don't know when we will see him because, um, there's something going on there with his leg, and so they got him in like a walking boot just to be safe and precautious, so he doesn't hurt anything else. I think he'll be fine. I just don't know if he'll be able to play in any of the preseason games, or if he'll be even ready for the start of the season. He might be ready for the start of the season, but I don't know about the preseason games. We'll see. But like, I want Tibbs to be able to make an adjustment just because. So, and I'm not saying it's got to be like, it has to make sense. So, say the Knicks are playing Detroit and Jaden Ivey is killing us. If Tibbs feels comfortable making the adjustment to someone else who may be able to slow him down, I think that's what you should do. But I also want to be, mindful of his strategy. If only one guy is killing us and the Knicks are doing well against the rest of the team, then okay. Then maybe you got to let Jaden Ivey get his. It is what it is. As long as you stop and slow down everybody else, you can keep the game manageable, you can keep the points down. Knicks still have a chance to win. But if Jaden Ivey's killing us and Cade Cunningham's killing us, and then from the big, from the tall center side of it, um, I don't know. I don't know. If they'll kill us, but we did have a tough time. I do know Julius Randle was getting the business by their center, the lefty from Duke who was with Sacramento. Why do guys, I be blanking on names, man. I hate that. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling. That's why I have to pull up these rosters. Detroit. And Marvin Bagley III. Yeah, Marvin Bagley III was giving us the business. Okay. He was giving Julius the business. He was giving everybody the business. So if it's a game where Marvin Bagley III is lighting us up down low and in the paint, and you're worrying about Jaden Ivey, he's giving us the business. And Cade Cunningham's giving, then that's multiple dudes that we're not stopping. That's different. That's when I do want Tibbs to make a rotational change and say, look, this ain't working. I got to switch things up. Maybe I need to put Obi on Bagley. And I know you guys might be like, Obi, why would you do that? Well, listen, Obi may not be the greatest defender, but as far as up and down, he can stick with Bagley. He's faster than Bagley, actually. And so maybe he can affect them in certain ways or whatever. Or maybe it's Hartenstein. You know what I mean? But I'm not talking about it has to be in that way. I'm saying you have to be willing to change stuff up. You got to show them a different look. And you got to energize the Knick group that you got out there. Because if we're getting lit up like that, it's already demoralizing to lose. And if people are making examples of you because they're getting busy, it's worse, right? So you want to break that culture. You want to break it. You want to start in a different direction and bring some new energy out there. Plus, you want guys to be able to slow down what's been killing you. So that's just what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be, a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. He's a NBA coach who's won Coach of the Year 2 seasons for a reason. So I'm not, I don't know anything better than him. I just think that he's a little stubborn with his rotations. And if he sees something's not working, be willing to give something else a shot, especially early. Before you've already developed what your set rotation is and what type of culture and climate you want this Knick team to be for this season, you can experiment a little bit. So do it. That's what I'm saying. Do it. Yeah. And in regards to Keith Turner, what he asked about, he said, did you see the Brunson interview? He was praising Fournier and how them two are building chemistry. Yeah. And you know what? I got to tell you guys, quiet is kept. I think everybody likes Fournier. I think the fans, as fans, we're very up and down with regards to Fournier because of his defense. But I want to be fair about it. Fournier's defense is a lot to be desired. It's not great. But as time went on throughout the season, he did get better. He was staying in front of his man a lot better. He was getting in the passing lanes. He was getting steals. He was trying to do whatever he could do. There's certain things he can't make up for. He don't block shots like that. He's not a big deterrent on the defensive end for some of these guys. So all you can do is hope that he tries to help slow guys down and that the help defense is there to pick them up. But he just needs to be able and willing to do that stuff. You know what I mean? And he was doing that towards the end of the season. But I also think, listen, as I said before, Fournier is the type of guy who has the grit. He's got that bulldog in him. He may not have the ability to show it, but I think he's just as ferocious inside the way he carries himself, the way he thinks about it on the floor, as any of your best defenders. He just may not have the ability. But the point is, people respect him. People like him. And people like also watching how he was leading his European team. Fournier was the vocal leader, and he was saying a lot of stuff, and those guys rallied around him. You got to respect it. You respect the guy as a person and what he has to say. He may not have all the abilities to do what you'd like him to do, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know what he's talking about or know how the game should be played. It's tough. It's tough for him. But yeah, I definitely think Brunson is going to be a really good leader for this Knicks team. I think he respects the guys that were already here before he got here, and I think he also knows who has that fire and that passion in them. They may not have all the skill, but he knows, because remember, in Dallas, it's Luka, it's Brunson, Hardaway Jr., who wasn't there most of the year. There's not a lot of offensive weaponry you got to worry about over there. So coming to the Knicks, there's a lot more people that can put the ball in the hoop over here. Defensively, it's iffy, but the Knicks play really good team defense. Maybe not as good as Dallas at this point, but you know what I mean. So let's see. Shout out to Dripmore once again, my guy. Appreciate you, man. Oh man. Rubio is the backup for Garland. Okay, I appreciate that, Almighty Finesse. But listen, Rubio is like an elder statesman in the league. If Sharif Cooper can learn how to get his game right, he can take that job. It won't happen overnight, but he can take it if he has that type of skill, which people thought he might. I don't know. Mozilla's in the building. He said, I think you already know the answer, as if he should stay or not. I guess that's to Tibbs. Yeah. Well, I don't know. And I know Geraldine's definitely talking about Tibbs, baby. Possibly. Maybe that's what she's talking about. I don't know, but I think so. Kerry Cooper in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. He says, and Chef NYK, thank you. Yeah, Bagley. That's who I was thinking of. He said, Ron, do you think Cam will get an opportunity now that Grimes has a minor injury? I definitely think so. So sometimes this is one of those things. I think Grimes has showed the Knicks organization and Tom Thibodeau enough that whenever he's healthy, he'll get his shot back. He'll get a chance to get minutes or earn minutes, because they're going to need his defense, and that defense is going to create offense, and then he's going to get opportunities. But I think this is it's a bad thing to see any player have to deal with some type of injury, but it's a really good thing for Cam. This might really open things up for Cam. So all you Cam people out there that love Cam and want to see what he can do, this is the best chance for him right now, man, because there's not a lot of minutes to go around with Derrick Rose being healthy and being back. And you also got Quickly, and you got RJ, and Fournier, right? So I think Cam has a shot right now to scrounge up some minutes. And if he plays well, I think he could eat into some of Fournier's minutes. Because, Tibbs is very, he's going to give Fournier the shot at starting, right? And he's going to play Fournier, and Fournier's going to give him what he gives him. But Fournier doesn't need to play 30 minutes. Fournier don't need to play 20 minutes, really, because what Fournier does is he can light you up quickly. He gets hot, he gets going, you put him in different situations, Boom, he's instant offense with them threes when he's going right. He don't need to play a lot of minutes. He can give you what he can give you in 15 to 18 minutes. It don't have to be more than that. I'm not saying that's all he's going to get. I'm just saying he can be effective in those minutes. United Science is in the building. Appreciate you. I don't know if I've I don't know if I've seen you on before in the chat. Maybe you've been here, but I appreciate you. He said, brother, try taking lion's mane mushrooms to help you with your memory. Yeah. All right. I mean, that works. I'll take it. If that works, I'll try it. I don't want to hallucinate though. I just want my memories. I took some B12 yesterday. I don't know. I think I got to take it for a while. East Blue Drew says you sound more reasonable than Tibbs. Hey, man. I hope he sees the light this year. I think he needs to see the light or he may be out of here. Because if the Knicks play well, then it's not going to be an issue. But there's going to be moments where the Knicks are going to go up against really good competition. And no matter how well they play, there's just going to be some guys that don't have it. You know, some nights people ain't going to, Jalen ain't going to have it. RJ's not going to have it. Julius ain't going to have it. So it's about who steps up and who you feel comfortable giving an opportunity to step up. You can't step up from the bench. Okay, as much as it sounds good, like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like if Julius ain't got it, we know Obi could do something. But if Obi don't get the minutes, we won't see it. And I'm only saying this if guys, like, especially when guys are playing tough competition and are not having good nights, it's struggling. That's when you really need to figure out other ways. And that's going to help the confidence, build up the confidence of whoever those players are. It don't have to be young guys. It could be whoever. You know what I mean? Maybe there's a unit where maybe there's a night where Jalen's out there, right? And he's running the show. And for whatever reason, he can't buy a basket. He's trying everything. Maybe that's a night when Derrick Rose comes in off the bench. And then next thing you know, you start to see, like, maybe that night you have Derrick Rose playing a little bit more with the starters. And Jalen could still get his minutes, but I'm saying, like, you mix things up. So because maybe one thing works a little better on a given night. It's not about changing rotations every night. It's not about changing starting lineups. It's just about being free to maneuver things so it gives you a really good chance at winning the basketball games. Because I'm going to tell you, you can't tell me you're really thinking about having the best chance to win a basketball game when you got Alec Burks as your starting point guard. Sorry, I can't buy it. I'm sorry. Travels and Vibes is in the building. Salute. Jay Rue is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yankees Morning Brew is here. Shout out to my guy. What's going on? Project Nerd, aka Heck. Guys, once again, if you haven't checked out Yankees Morning Brew, definitely check them out Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., man. It's a good show on the Degen Sports Network. And right now is a really good time for these Yankees, man. Aaron Judge has tied the Roger Maris record. He only needs one more to break it. He's got 6 games left, I believe, to do it. It's a hot time right now. So definitely check out Yankees Morning Brew every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. And that's coming from a Met fan. So definitely appreciate you. Oh, and Heck, listen, text me or whatever. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna try. Let's see if we can do this tomorrow, bro. All right. What if we try to get this to unless you got something going on, let me know. I'll see if I could jump on tomorrow. How about that? So, Kerry Cox says Cam knows this is his make it or break it moment. I agree, man. This is the time for Cam to step up, man. All I want, guys, all I've been saying forever is I know how talented Cam Reddish is. I hear it. He's like the boogeyman in a good way. You know, you get told them stories by the campfire or when you was a kid or what all. Yeah, the boogeyman's coming. Blah, blah, beware the boogeyman. Yeah. They make it seem like these guys around the NBA, like, beware of Cam Reddish, yo. Don't take him lightly. He will light you up. And he's got stories. He's run through a lot of these guys, especially the younger guys, because they played him like in AAU and stuff like that. They've been lit up by Cam. I hate to think that Cam is just a street baller type player. I think he can play an organized ball because he looks fluid. He can do everything. I just need to see the grit. I just need to see that Cam wants it. And as I said it before, I think I said it in the chat. Nothing but Knicks, or maybe it was the Queen's Court. I just want Cam to go out there and be like, I'm not here to play. You know what? I love you guys. You guys are my teammates. We are one. We're the Big 15, whatever it's gonna be. But right now, training camp, preseason, I'm trying to kill all of y'all. I'm trying to kill y'all so that y'all know I'm the man and I need to get the playing time, because when I get the playing time, I'm going to kill the rest of the teams. I'm going to kill the rest of the NBA. He's got to eat his food. It's got to be barbecue chicken season for Cam. None of this lollygagging around, happy-go-lucky, smiling and cheesing. He need to go out there and take some names, man. He needs to he needs to say, listen, RJ, you my man, but when we on that court, I'm going at your head. I need to see that from Cam. This is what I'm talking about. I need to see that from Obi too. I swear to you, I feel like I've said this many times. I need to see that same type of intensity from Obi. We'll see. Listen, all that to make the 8th or 10th spot. Senga, what are we gonna do? This is our roster. This is our team. Would you rather them not do anything? Would you rather them lose 70 games and only win 10? 72 games and only win 10? You want them, if they can play, if they can beat people, you want them to go out there and try their best. I'm sure as a Knicks fan, you don't want, I mean, well, I don't know if you're a Knicks fan. I'm assuming you're a Knicks fan, Senga. But you don't want to just go see a rotten team. You turn your TV on. Do you even care to see the Knicks if they don't even try, if they look like crap? You want them to try to win games, man. I understand they are not a championship contending team. They're not elite, but this is the roster they got. So you got to be happy for it if you're a fan and hope for the best, because there's no guarantee in the lottery. Ain't no guarantee. They could stink and win 15 games and still not get a top 5 pick. I mean, the chances of that are pretty low. They might be able to get a top 5 pick. Okay, I'm stretching it a little bit. But that doesn't mean they'll get the number 1, the number 2, or the number 3. We don't know, because there's other teams that could be out there just as bad as them. And in the end, the ping pong balls do what the ping pong balls do. That's all I'm saying. They will definitely get a top 5 pick. That's true. I'm gassing it a little bit. Yeah, they would do that. But you know what I mean? And then the other thing is, even if they get that top 5 pick, we don't know that they're going to pick the right guy. They haven't shown us that they will. Although the Leon Rose regime has done a lot better, I think, at drafting talent than previous regimes. But we don't know. I mean, the Knicks could get the number 1 pick and mess it up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm trying to be optimistic, but you know, there's some real to it. You never know. Senga says next year we will start developing finally. I hope you're right. I think we will. Kerry Cox says Obi knows the very same thing. Yeah. I'm trying, man. I am trying. I'm trying. It ain't easy because, you know, I got to see it play out myself, but I'm hoping for the best. Yep. Kerry Cox says Obi, Cam, Grimes have to make it difficult for Tibbs to take them out of the game. Absolutely. And you nailed it. Those actually, I would throw one more name into it, but he gets the time. You know, like maybe I shouldn't include him, but I would also include Emmanuel Quickly in that too, because they need to do that. Emmanuel Quickly has a long leash, man. Like you saw last year, this dude struggled the whole first half of the season, and he was still getting playing time for Tibbs. So maybe he doesn't have to worry about it as much. Maybe he's got that you know that green card. He can get it going. But yeah, Obi, Cam, and Grimes definitely have to make it difficult for Tibbs to take them out of the game. And I think Obi will, but I don't know if he'll do it the way I would like him to do it. I want Obi to be aggressive. I want Obi to eat his food. I want Obi to dunk on people. I want Obi to listen. Everybody keeps saying that all he is a dunker. Okay, if that's all you are, then be the best dunker in the NBA. Be one of the best. Dunk on everybody. Don't get hurt, but you know, make it one of those situations where now they don't want you coming in the lane. Oh, if they see Obi coming down the lane, they might try to double team him. You know how much better that makes the rest of the guys, how many better looks they get if they got to worry about double teaming Obi because he's about to come into the lane. I'm just saying, you got to, whatever it is you good at, try to amplify it, man. Take it to the next level. Cam, the same thing. Cam is supposed to be good at everything on the court. And he's a good defender too. He's not great, but he's a good defender. Cam should be killing it. Killing it. Killing it. And Grimes, I think Grimes just needs to stay healthy, man. I'm a little worried about this stuff going on with him. And I know it's not fair to him because he works really hard. He's improving his game. He's adding new things, new elements to his game. It sucks. I just hope he can stay healthy, man, because if he can stay healthy, he'll get the minutes, and I think he'll play well. El Survey's in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Tibbs doesn't know how to adjust and mix things up. Just look at his hair. I hear you, El Survey. Appreciate it. Right. Yes, sir. Shout out to Aaron Judge. History in front of our eyes. Facts. All right, bro. Yeah, shoot me a text. We'll get that going. Jeffrey Clafter in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's true. That's one of those things. So the question that the two questions that a lot of Knicks fans have is, what is the Knicks identity? That we still don't have an answer to, right? We thought when Tibbs got here it was going to be defense. But then after that, fantastic season we had and him winning coach of the year and Julius getting most improved player, us making the 4th seed, us getting into the playoffs, they switched it up a little bit. They brought in Fournier and they brought in Kemba and sacrificed some of that defense. Now, in the end, the Knicks were still a pretty good team, defensive team. So, can't be mad at that. It just turned out to be one of those situations where maybe they sacrificed too much defense or they sacrificed the wrong players, because if the Knicks still had Elfrid Payton, who knows how they would be right now. But I really think if the Knicks had Reggie Bullock, we'd be singing a different song. These Knicks might be giving people the business. Now, I'm not saying they'd be much better, but they would be a little better than what they are. And that might make up for something. That might get them back into the playoffs. So we'll see. They said, don't hold your breath waiting on Cam. You may be right. Geraldine says, I doubt that. Cam said he has grit. Yeah, Cam can say whatever he wants to say. I need to see it. Cam may have it inside deep down, but he's got to let it out. And the only problem is if a guy has it, he has it. If he can show it, if he can funnel it and use it into his game, great. But some people don't know how to react to that type of stuff. They don't know how to act in those situations. You ask them for grit, it turns into something else. They turn into getting mad and picking up stupid ticky-tack fouls and doing things out of character. It's got to be something within the course of the game that you use to fuel yourself, to fuel your game, so you get the best out of how you're playing. And it's easier said than done. Not everybody's got it. And the people that don't have it don't know how to get it and don't know how to use it. I mean, we've seen even Julius, who is a very aggressive player and can definitely use some of that energy that he's got, that strength, that nasty that he has sometimes. Sometimes it goes a little haywire for him too. Like, it's hard to control it. I'd be wanting RJ to get mad sometimes and show some grit, but RJ's a nice, likable guy. I don't know if he might have a little bit more of it than some other players, but he don't really got it either. Like, some of these guys, they don't play that way, and maybe that works for them. Yep, absolutely. Cam needs to establish himself. Chef NYK says he has to show up. Servy, I don't think it matters if they dominate in practice. Tibbs is still Tibbs. Listen, I would feel it's true. You're right. Tibbs is still Tibbs. But if dudes dominate in practice, let me tell you something. Not only will the rest of those guys on the team know it, but front office is going to see it too. And even though Leon Rose said he wants to leave the rotations up to Tibbs, if the Knicks start off in the season and there's guys that have shown that they were balling in practice and balling in training camp and showed the grit, and Tibbs doesn't really play those guys and the Knicks start off losing, I'm telling you, a conversation is going to be had. That doesn't mean that they're going to say, we want this. No, they'll just say, listen, there's some guys on the roster maybe you need to take another look at, especially right now. That's how it's going to be. And then Tibbs should understand what that means. And hopefully he gets it and is willing to do it. But we don't even know if that's going to happen. I'm just saying if it happens. Yeah, 8 to 10 seed is progressing. I said this before, and I still think that that's the case. This Knicks team has skipped some steps, in the rebuild when you're trying to get better and create, a winning culture, and then you're bringing in more youth. It's a process, and the Knicks have kind of tried to skip past some of these steps because we're in New York, and New York, we're starving for a winning team, and it's also a big market. But the process is the process for a reason. That's why some of these other teams, we saw OKC do it before. They're trying to do it again, but we've seen them do it. You know what I mean? They got to the finals. They didn't win because it was too hard to hold on to all these guys. And you see, look at all the divas on one team: Westbrook, Harden, Durant. Come on. That's tough. It's tough to hold on to these guys when you know what they turned out to be in the NBA. But if they could have held on to them, they were a team that was doing it right. Kerry Cox says Obi has to show improvement as well as he will be back on the midseason trading block. Yeah, true. He will. No, man. No, don't worry. No, sorry at all, man. You're entitled to your opinion, and I understand. You're not unlike a lot of Knicks fans. And I have moments where I feel like you too. At this moment, I'm positive. I feel like we're about to start a new season. They haven't played a game yet. Haven't even played a preseason game yet. I want to see what this team has to offer. The one thing I want to give the Knicks a chance to do is learn from their mistakes. We already seen it. Leon Rose and company, what they tried to do is last year they put a roster together that wasn't working. They realized they made some mistakes. So the mistakes or the issues that they thought they had, they tried to clean up, and they got rid of some of those people. There's people that are no longer here. And I'm not saying that they're mistakes necessarily, but they were mistakes for this roster. They weren't the right fit, and they were taking up spots from some of the other players. So, they did that. And, it looks a little better. It's not great, but it looks a little better than what it was. And we still have a log jam they got to fix, but we want to give them a shot to get it right. Just like with the team itself, how they play. Preseason's about to start. We want to see what they got, how they play, if they can get some type of culture or some type of identity, and the direction. Now, the direction, I think Geraldine hit it on the head. I think the direction is win now. It's not win right now, like we got all the pieces to win now, but I definitely think the Knicks are in kind of win now mode with Tibbs as the coach and what they seem to be heading towards. That's what it is. So at least I think we know the direction, even if we may not all like it. I think that's what it is. Now, they still got to figure out what their identity is. Geraldine says we might have to come to the conclusion that Cam might not be what some fans think he is. Very true. It's very true. I hope I'm wrong, because I think somebody with all that talent, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to see some of it on display. If the guy can, and I think it's it sucks for him too, because it seems like every time he kind of gets things going, he gets hurt. It's tough. There you go, Senga. There you go. Got to crawl before you walk. Exactly. Kerry Cox says no injuries. Knicks are a 6 to 10 seed. Absolutely. Somewhere in there. If they're not injured and they stay healthy, and we're talking Cam staying healthy, Quentin Grimes staying healthy for the majority of the season, Derrick Rose staying healthy. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. These guys do have talent, guys. Don't let the rest of these NBA teams fool you, or some of these writers and media people. The Knicks have talent if everybody stays healthy. May not be elite, but it's talent. Ping pong balls always bounce again. Yeah. Yep. Facts. They looked at the right one this past draft, Ivy. Yeah, they did. Unfortunately, they couldn't get him. Detroit was not giving off for that Ivy pick. They were like, "That's our guy." Can't blame them. Afro Jedi's in the building. Salute. What's good? He says, "Facts. Don IQ got to show that he can compete with the big dogs still." Yeah. No. And I think you mean Ron. That's probably for me. Yeah, I agree. Yep. He's definitely got to show that he can still do what he's been doing. And a year removed, because I still think, guys, I mean, I'm not gonna forget the fact that IQ was dependent on a certain style of basketball. Him, Trey Young, Lou Williams, they all was depending on, getting people up in the air and drawing that foul and just getting to the free throw line, scoring easy points. And when the NBA took that away, excuse me, all three of them guys had to make adjustments. And I think they all did eventually. For Quickly, it took a little time. But maybe going into this season, now he's more comfortable with it. Link's Black in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Too bad Leon Rose is afraid to tell Tibbs anything. I think he still believes he's Tibbs' lap poodle, former agent. That may be the case. I got you, Afro. Appreciate you, man. IQ 6 Man of the Year. I don't think that's far-fetched, guys. I don't think that's far-fetched. I think IQ is going to be really good this year. I said that my two guys that I think are going to be really good for these Knicks, and I'm not saying like other guys are going to, Julius is going to have a good season, RJ is going to have a good season, I think Jalen will have, but the two guys that to me that are surprising, not surprising, like I mean that they didn't play as well last year, are going to have better seasons this year. And overall, that's going to help the Knicks be a better team. Is IQ and Quentin Grimes. Those dudes stay healthy. I think those two guys are really going to impact this Knicks team and help them out a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if IQ gets into that 6 Man of the Year talks. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If he's the 6th man, because really, Derrick Rose might still be the first guy off that bench. We don't know. Keith Turner said Golden State was contending and still added good talent at the same time, something Leon Rose knows nothing about doing. Facts. That comes in time, man. That's something that the Knicks are going to have to learn. That we're so used to having them deal with adversity over here. We don't know what it's like to be in the winner's table. You know what I mean? We're always trying to get there. We're at the kiddie table right now. Yep. Kerry Cox said, I still like to try the trade of Fournier Cam and protect the first-round pick for OG Anunoby. I'm not opposed to it, but I will say the only thing that worries me about Anunoby is the fact that can he stay healthy? Does he? Because he might have some injury issues too. Like I don't know. If he can stay healthy, I want him here, absolutely. And if you do that trade for him, it is what it is. I guess I'd kind of like to see how I want to see them play some games first before I know definitely if they need to move some people. Because I tell you, I think they're going to have to move some people because of all the players at certain positions, too many. But I'd like to see how they play together, because if the Knicks come out the gate and they're firing and they're playing really well, really good basketball, you don't want to upset the chemistry and upset what you're seeing. You want to keep it for as long as you can keep it until it shows you that it's not going to be sustained. Like if it doesn't look like it's going to work long term, then you got to move on. We are in year 3 of a rebuild. Well, we're in year 3 of something. It's not a true rebuild, Jeffrey, because the Knicks are like they're trying to skip steps. I don't know. You would expect us to be a middling team. I agree with that. That's true. Keith Turner said a first-round pick for OG Anunoby. Try adding 2 more first with that, because it's going to at least take 3 unprotected. I hope it does not, but I don't know. You may be right. This trade market right now for players is wild. It's insane. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I would say you look at whatever Bojan Bogdanovic, um, you know, whatever it took to acquire him. I mean, OG Anunoby's not that much better than Bojan. I mean, I think Bojan offensively is way better, but OG has better defense. So he's probably a little better, and his age, he's younger. So whatever it took to get Bojan, maybe you have to add another little piece to that to make it happen. Charlie Solomon in the building. Salute. What's good? Thank you for joining. He says, Keith Turner. I'm sorry. He says we won't see Cam unless we got another coach. That's a tough one. I don't know if I believe it, but if you mean if we won't see Cam get meaningful minutes, maybe you're right. But I think we might see Tibbs might use him, especially if Grimes is not able to go. Keith Turner says Kerry Cox is cheap like Leon Rose can't get deals done like that. Yeah, well, maybe true. Bodega Wi-Fi. Cam and RJ needs to spend an off season with Spreewell. Facts. Now that's something I'm talking about. Bodega Wi-Fi. Spreewell had that grit. Spreewell knew how to take it to the basket. Spreewell will go through you. If Cam play like that, if RJ learned how to play like that, under control, of course, because RJ does do a little of that. So I'm not going to say he's got more grit to me in his game to me than Cam does. I just don't like the fact that RJ doesn't get mad, because some players, I think when they get mad, it kind of cuts that whole friendliness out. And so when you're going up against people you respect, if you're going up against a Jimmy Butler or some of these other players, when you get mad, you take it to them. Like, not, they're just anybody right now. They're not Jimmy Butler. They're just another player on the court, and I'm going through you to get to what I got to get. That's what I want from RJ. That's what I want from Obi and Cam. I just want Cam to be more aggressive. Cam could be lackadaisical. Kevin Durant's lackadaisical. But Kevin Durant, you guys notice when Kevin Durant gets mad, he talks a little, he barks a little bit, but his game starts to get crazy. He wants to light you up. And that's what I need Cam to turn into. Kerry Cox said, what's wrong with trying? What's the worst they can say? But no. Keith Turner, they're going to tell you no and hang the phone up. That might be true. Scotty Barnes, not worth 3 unprotected picks. Ew, I don't know, man. Scotty Barnes is a good player. I like Scotty Barnes. And some people would take Scotty Barnes over RJ. I'm not saying I would, but some people would. Charlie Solomon, we need that coach from Boston when they let him go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the front office and the Knicks organization was going to watch their women around that dude. So I don't know if they want to bring him in. And I don't think James Dolan wants to deal with any guys who have those type of scandals. We already dealt with it back in the Anuka, Brown Sanders days with Isaiah Thomas and all that stuff. And I don't know, man. Keith Turner says Toronto is worse than with the trade. Yeah. They're tough. They don't just, this dude, Ujiri, he ain't gonna just give you what you want. Yeah, but the front office needs to try. It's worth a shot. You never know. Right, Jeffrey, that's the reason why we skipped some steps in this process. 2 years ago, we were not supposed to play the way we played down that stretch. We were not supposed to go on that streaky run we did and make it the way we did to that 4th seed. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but that wasn't really in the cards. It doesn't usually happen like that for teams that are trying to somewhat rebuild. Knicks were fortunate, but, were we? I don't know. True Blood 413 is in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. He said Steph Curry, Tim Duncan were cool and did not show emotion. Facts. But they played with aggression. Or should I say they play with aggression, because Steph Curry's still playing. Steph Curry plays with aggression. He's even aggressive when he shoots threes. Don't think he's not. Like, he's moving. Okay, he got you running around and you're trying to stop him, but he's taking you all over the court, popping threes. He's moving, he's being aggressive with it. And then when you play up on him and he knows that you're really not trying to let him get it off, he takes you to the hoop. Aggressive. And Tim Duncan was Mr. Fundamental, but he was aggressive doing it. He had his moves, he had his shot off the glass. You knew Tim Duncan's moves and you knew it was going to happen. Whether you stopped it or not was another thing. We don't know, but you knew it was going to happen. And it was going to be a tough night for you, most nights. And, Obi doesn't have, these guys aren't established as far as having go-to moves. So Cam doesn't have a go-to move. Obi doesn't have a go-to move and vice versa. I don't even know if RJ knows what his go-to move is yet. We'll see. It might be something around the paint area that he does. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely think that he's working on stuff. Keith is about Toronto. Okay. Evan mentioned. Okay. Oh, he's talking about the trade probabilities. All right. Charlie Solomon says they have to stop Julius from the hero ball stuff. Yes, I agree. JJ, what's good? Appreciate you, man. A win now team that can't win now. Great. Hey, yeah, that's not great. The defense will be better. Cam should be the yeah, I mean, Cam should be the next Paul George. I mean, he definitely has the height. He has all the skill. And he plays a good defense. Paul George may be better defensively, but Cam could get better. Who's to say he can't? He's still very young too. Yeah, he definitely should be playing more like Paul George than what he's playing like. Sharice Duncan, salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. She said the first 19 games of the season is tough. Yes, it is. That's a tough schedule to start a season for anybody, let alone a team like the Knicks. Brunson and Rose give us 48 minutes of good point guard play. I like that. If everybody stays healthy, yeah, man, we can see some good things. Kerry Cox says the only way nobody gets traded by the break is if we have 25 wins. It's possible for a 50-win season. I am not going 50 burger, but go ahead, Kerry. I like the optimism. I'm not doing it. I think the Knicks are going to give me around 43 wins. If they give me more than that, then all right, that's gravy. I'll take it. 43 wins is what I'm counting them on. And that's an improvement over what they did last season. So I'll be happy with that. Anything over that, fantastic. I am not jumping out the window. I got to know the ledge. I can't talk about it and not be about it. But I like that optimism. IQ can play in a pinch too. Yeah. These World of Hoops, peace and prosperity to the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you to everybody, man. We got 91 people in here right now. Hit that like button. Show some love for the show. Appreciate it. Nothing but Knicks, man. Thank you to Simp the Podfather for allowing us to do this show and be a part of the NBK community, man. We love it. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, I'm here. John and Jose are at work. They both have stuff going on. And actually, I don't know if we've ever said this, but John and Jose work together. Like they work for the same company. That's how we found Jose. Yeah, look at that. But anyway, they have an event that's happening tonight. And so they both have to be there. Or else they would be here. Keith Turner says Cleveland is stacked with talent. They have to rebuild it twice on us, and we still in no man's land. That's true. That is true. And you know what? But that goes to the point. You can do that. And I'm going to shoot the Knicks a little bail. I mean, it's our fault. But Cleveland has given their city a championship, in the last so odd years. So when you get that, the city can relax. So it gives you liberties to be able to rebuild and put teams together because you've gotten to the pinnacle of success. You've reached it. And they're not in a big market. So, small market teams are able to kind of coast a little bit, but they actually are, fortunate. They actually had a championship. So not all the small market teams can get that lucky. Jeffrey Clafter said last year we played Alec Burks 30 minutes plus at point guard. Facts. Crazy. Crazy. Peace, my brother. Cavs are a 4th or 5th seed team. I see that, Kenny Cox. He said Brooklyn will start out strong and then fade. That might be the case. What do you guys think about that mix? I had somebody on Instagram that I follow. He had put something out there on his page, and it said, "What will Brooklyn do with Ben Simmons? Where will Ben Simmons play on the court?" Because you've got a situation where at center, he's not a center, so you can't really put him there. Is he a power forward? Maybe he can play power forward, but I guess Claxton might be at that spot for the Nets. Small forward, and you can put him there, but isn't that where Durant would be? Shooting guard. He ain't a shooting guard, right? So, and also you're getting back what's his face? Harris, who was hurt last year. So he's coming back. It leaves point guard. And you got Kyrie Irving there. So I guess you gotta have to try to put Ben Simmons at power forward. I don't know. I don't know what the Nets are gonna do. I don't know, man. Interesting. We'll see. Charlie Solomon says, if healthy, D Rose 6th man of the year. You might be right. Keith Turner said Derrick Rose needs to be gone. He shouldn't even be here. Look at the contrast in those comments. That is definitely some interesting stuff, right? Kerry Cox said Golden State Warriors drafted well and tanked well when their starters were hurt. Facts. They did. They definitely did. Well, yeah, that's a question. But Kerry, the least we can say is, for the most part, OB has stayed fairly healthy. He had like one little injury that he dealt with, and he was able to get over that, and he's been pretty much healthy throughout. Even though he's got a slim frame and those chicken legs, he's been able to stay fairly healthy. So I'm gonna say for now, yes. I worry about Cam, I worry about Rose, and I worry about Grimes. And I hope that Mitch has a repeat of last season, because I don't want to start worrying about him anymore. I think he's going in the right direction. We'll see. And RJ's pretty much stayed healthy, so I'm not too worried about him. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, okay. All right, Kerry, my bad. So you meant Cam. Okay, not Obi. Yeah, I don't know if Cam can stay healthy. I don't know. I don't know at all. The Public Enemy #1. Salute. Appreciate you, man. Knicks isn't eating at the kiddie table. We eating outdoors with COVID. Ah, man, that's funny. Yo, that's funny. Okay, the Public Enemy. All right. Oh, man. JJ says you don't want to be in the middle in the NBA. You got to get out of no man's land. Facts. No man's land is not where you want to be. I agree. But they may be stuck in this purgatory, this area, for a little while. Sherwin says, "Hey, Sherwin, man, it took me a while to get to your comment. You've been kind of quiet, huh? I want zero part of trading Cam. I would hate to see Cam. Oh, oh, I would hate to see Cam live up to his potential with another team. Cam's upside is a lot higher than OG. A healthy OG Ananobi and a healthy Cam Reddish that plays up to his potential, that shows aggression and is going to get it. Yeah, I take Cam. I would agree with you there, Sherwin. If Cam could put it together and stay healthy and show that aggression and go get them buckets, yeah, Cam could be a beast. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I would agree with that statement. Um, Keith Turner says they're all in on Tibbs. I don't see him getting fired no time soon. Yep. And D's World of Hoops says Tibbs is family. That's a fact. Oh man. Jeffrey Clafter says you don't usually go from the bottom to the top. You improve incrementally. That's correct. It takes increments. It's small, like baby steps here, little pieces here by here. It's a slow grind to really do it right. And the Knicks are kind of jumping ahead. This is true. They're gonna have to figure out a way to make it work though, because that's already their plan. This is what they're doing. So they better make it work somehow. Geraldine McIver says for some reason Cam is not that high on Cam, and I agree with you, Sherwin. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, Geraldine, because it is what it is, man. I'm 6'4" and a half. Um, at some point, I feel like I was 6'5". Maybe I lost a half an inch. I don't know, but maybe I've always been 6'4" and a half. But I know players like I played ball, and I'm not the greatest at playing ball, but I had a good jump shot. I felt, or I don't want to say jump shot. I didn't jump that high off the ground. It was more like a set shot. I leaped a little bit, but I had a good shot. Okay. Um, could I have made the NBA? No, because I didn't have that NBA type talent. I could play a little bit. I could shoot a little bit. If you get me mad, then you see a different level of my game. I turn it up a notch when I'm upset, but it is what it is. But that's not staying power. That's not what it takes to be an NBA player. You need to have the skills. You need to be good at both sides of the ball, or at least one side of the ball. Like really good at it, really skilled. And I just didn't have that in my game. So of course I grew up with guys. I grew up with some guys who can ball, guys who were really short that had everything but not the height. So of course they would kill to have my height. And they've said it, I wish I had your height. Yeah, man. Well, listen, I wish I had $1,000,000, but it is what it is. But I would say Cam has everything you would want in an NBA player. He's got the size to play at the wing position, and he's got the skill to play at the 2 and even at the 1, but not really. You know what I mean? He could, but not really. But he's got that type of frame and that type of skill set. He could really be a dominant factor in the NBA for years to come. Not right now out the gate, but if he started to assert himself and showed that type of game down the line, he could turn into that type of player. I mean, I say it because it's not just hoopla, like, oh, this guy got skills. I mean, if the guy could light up people at every destination and people witnessed it, that shows you something. He's got it, but who knows if we'll see it. Derod Wade said Bojan traded to Detroit. Yes, that's why I was talking about like with Anunoby, whatever it took for Detroit to get Bojan, I think you'd have to sweeten the pot just like with a little bit more to get Anunoby. But I don't even know if you want to do that because we don't know if Anunoby can stay healthy either. It's not good to bring in players that can't stay on the court. Let me hit you with the dad moment. The best ability is availability. I'm not gonna do it. Forget it. You got it. You know what it is. Keith Turner, I'm just stacking my wine rack for the season. I had to drink, watch it. It's going to be a long season. Get yourself a nice Bordeaux or something. 1927 or something. A fine year for wine. I don't know. Kerry Cox says, remember Sprewell came out of college as a defensive specialist, then developed an offense in the league, much like Kaiwi. What? Yo, why can't I talk right now? Much like Kaiwi. I think I see a silly wabbit out there. Wascally wabbit. Better. There you go. See, when you get the slurred, you gotta, yeah, wet the beak a little bit. We're good now. Yeah. So yeah, offense in the league, much like Kawhi. Weird. I don't know how I said that. That was crazy. Funny moments. I'll put that in my outtakes. JJ said all day Barnes over RJ. Oof. Wow. Tell us what you really think, bro. These World of Hoops said, but Ron, 3 unprotected at this moment in time. Listen, I'm not saying I'd do it. I'm just saying that's what probably it would take to get him. I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't do it, especially because of the fact I don't think the guy can stay healthy. So that worries me. I don't need that, man. I don't need that drama. We got enough of that. Geraldine McIver says, for some reason, Tibbs is not that high on Cam, and I agree with you, Sherwin. I think the reason is Cam don't show that go get it. If Cam showed that go get it, Tibbs, listen, say what you will. Derrick Rose, go get it. Not a question. Joakim Noah, go get it. Taj Gibson, go get it. Luol Deng, go get it. These dudes were aggressive. They don't all have to be superstars. You just have to be aggressive in how you play basketball, and Tibbs loves it. Jimmy Butler was not, I repeat, was not a star on the Chicago Bulls when they first got him. When they got him, they cultivated him. He showed he had that go get it. He had that dog. He had that nasty. He was aggressive. Tibbs fell in love with him. Said, you know what? I like this guy. We're going to start using this guy. And eventually he became the featured act. And we see what he's turned into now. He's a star player in the league. He is. He is what he can take over games. I don't know if he's a superstar, but he's a star player. That's for certain. Sherwin said Cam have a higher upside than Scotty Barnes. I don't know, bro. Because Scotty Barnes is known for his defensive talent. He's not really known on the offensive end, but we've also seen Scotty Barnes have some moments where he could score a little bit. Who's to say that Scotty Barnes can't work on his offensive game and improve his jump shot and improve his angles, his lanes to the basket, how he approaches the rim? Who says he can't improve? Scotty Barnes improves on an offensive tip, and gets to the point where he can get to 18 points a night, maybe even 20 if he's featured. Then I think he's better than Cam, because we already know Scotty can play defense. It's not a question. So I don't know if I will agree with that one, because I think Scotty can work on his offense and he might get it better. Like, we've seen so many guys that you wouldn't even think, and I don't want to keep throwing it out there because I've said it multiple times. We've seen so many guys that you wouldn't think would learn to shoot threes. Jason Kidd became one of the best at shooting threes. Blake Griffin became a really good shooter. Dwayne Wade, who was a decent shooter, became a great mid-range shooter. I mean, that can happen throughout the league to anybody. You never know. Just you put the work in, you get the right form, you get the repetition, you keep it there. Some good things can happen for you. Salute Johnny Davis in the building. What's good? What's good? Hope you're doing. Can't wait to see you in the Wizards, man. The coolest 718 in the building. Ron, Knicks dealing with that now with Rick Brunson. Wow. Yeah. Well, I hope you're right. Okay. So Spree average 20 in college. What? Oh, well, Hey, well, you're talking about the incident that followed Rick Brunson throughout his career. I mean, listen, there's more to that story, and apparently, he came out on top out in that situation. I don't know everything. I'm not going to get into that right now because I don't want to talk about stuff I don't really know. But I do know that that happened a while ago, and it was something that he's been able to kind of move past. But you're right. I mean, but the difference is uh, it's fresh right now. Ime Udoka, the whole situation is fresh. I don't think that's something the Knicks want to touch. However, they're in a situation with Gerson Rojas as the consultant. So never say never. You never know. Might be the case. Might be the case. Geraldine says, did the Knicks hire an offensive coach? I don't know. I don't know whose role it is, you know, right now. Let me see. I could pull up because I saw this the other day. Let's see. Um, does it have all the names here? Yeah, I don't see. Oh wait, hold on. Goodness, look at all these names. Um, yeah, it doesn't show their titles and like what their specialty is. So I don't know if they hired an offensive coach. I will tell you, I think the big man coach this year for the Knicks is Othello Harrington. You guys remember Othello Harrington? Yeah, that's an interesting signing. I don't know too much about Othello Harrington and his coaching prowess. I remember him as a player. He used to be, a pretty decent player, I would say. He definitely had a skill set. He was once a Nick. Um, let's see, what was the most he ever averaged? He averaged 10.9 points with the Grizzlies one season. He shot 46% from the field. He averaged 13 points in 1999 with the Grizzlies. He shot 50% from the field, 55% for the Knicks. He was just a back to the basket around the paint type of guy, but he never averaged more than 13 points in a season. Rebounds, he never averaged more than 6 points. 6 rebounds. I apologize. 6.9. So almost 7 that one year. That one year with the Grizzlies, he averaged 13 points and almost 7 rebounds on 50% shooting. And he played all 82 games. That was a good year for him. He also averaged 32 minutes, though. Damn. I don't know about him. But, he knows how to play the big man role. So I'm sure he can help guys with certain techniques or whatever, because that's what these guys are here for, to help develop players. A guy like Mitch could use Othello Harrington had good footwork. He had some nice moves. I believe he was a lefty, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was a lefty. So it is what it is. Where was I? Okay. Brunson has go-to moves, though. Yes, he does. That's why he scores so well in the paint area, because he's got moves that he can pull out his bag that he uses. Um, RJ's go-to move is a Euro step at the basket. Hmm, maybe that's it. Johnny Davis says this team is talented even all the way to the lowest man on the totem, so it will be a task to get everyone engaged. That's a good point, because I do think that the team has talent. How you play all that talent, how you play the right talent, how you move, mix and match rotations to make sure that the right players are playing with each other, all of that matters. All of that matters. Paris Douglas says Brunson will program Randall. I hope you're right. I think Brunson's going to have a lasting impact on everybody on the roster, but we definitely need him to really have an impact on RJ and Randall. That would be huge for this team. JJ said, Obi, the only one here with a go-to move, leak out to get to the easy dunk. Keith Turner says, I fired Tibbs for Udoka in 2K23. He has a job with me. I hear you, brother. Way to go. Quiet Money. Salute. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you, man. Sherwin says Cam is more like Jason Tatum than Paul George. I would agree with that as far as playing the style of play that he can play more like. And Jason Tatum, even though he's a very good, adequate defender, Paul George is a better defender in my eyes. I don't know. I could be wrong. I would have to look at the statistics, break down those numbers. I think Paul George is a little better on the defensive end than Jason Tatum, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I know Brown is better than both of them on defense, but Jaylen Brown, that is. But we'll see. These World of Hoops said potentially, I agree. Barnes has done something hasn't done in 3 years, play a whole season. Well, that's a fact. That is definitely a fact. Charlie Solomon said, would you go out and try to get Crowder? I like Crowder. I know some people don't like him. I didn't like him at first. I mean, I couldn't stand Jay Crowder, but his talent for what he does grew on me. Guys like Jay Crowder, guys like Patrick Beverly, guys like who's the other guy? Oh, PJ, the dude who's with what the hell's his name? And I even got the PJ Tucker. Jesus, Ron. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, would you say lion mushroom? What? I'm gonna have to find some of that, man. I need some of that. So yeah, PJ Tucker, guys like that, I appreciate them a lot more around the league. Even Reggie Bullock. I gotta tell you, I'm just being honest, quiet as kept. I didn't say this before. I couldn't stand Reggie Bullock on this Knicks team. I did not want him here, and we got him. I was mad. But in the end, Reggie Bullock turned out to be a really solid player for these New York Knicks, and I appreciated his game more because I wasn't like, what can he do? I wasn't appreciating his defense and how he was a leader on the team. And then, I got to see it, and his three-point shooting was valuable. He was very streaky, but, I got to respect it. Billy Goat in the building. Knicks blew 8 big leads last season. They should have had 45 wins, 48 wins this season. I like it. I like that. And there's some sense in how you're quantifying how they can get those wins to make up for the ones they didn't get. I like it. Let's see. I'm gonna get through a few more, and then I'm gonna get out of here. The show's been a little longer, but I'm doing this because, like I said, I want to give you guys, opportunity to get your stuff out there. Usually, these shows, obviously, myself, John, and Jose, we put together content and we go with the script. But tonight's one of them nights. So, Kevin Middleton in the building. Salute, appreciate you. Nick C, Paul George, and Cam Reddish. I just hope he can be Mook Morris. Yeah, I'll take that too, man. If he can show us some of that, I'll take it. Francisco Carrillo in the building. Salute. What's going on, bro? Quiet Money says Cam will never be like Paul George. The motor is way too low. And you might be right. I hope you're wrong, but you might be right. Keith Turner says, I know Fournier is well liked for real. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, people like Fournier. Around the league, outside of the league, obviously in the European leagues and all that stuff, people respect and like this guy. And it looks like it's not just lip service. I know Julius Randle said that's my guy and all this stuff. I don't know if I believe him 100%, but I do know that this Knicks team respects and appreciates Evan Fournier for who he is as a person and how he talks about the game and his grit. Because I have a feeling that Evan Fournier is one of the most vocal people on this team. Like in the locker room, when they're talking, when they're going over film and tape and Tibbs is saying stuff, I think Evan speaks up. I think he has a lot to say. I think that's why also, if you remember, guys, with Evan last year, Evan was one of the few people that let some stuff slip in the interviews that maybe other guys were not saying. Evan was one of the few people to give us some nuggets of stuff. And he would speak up and say certain things that maybe the Knicks didn't want him to say. But he was willing to say stuff. So I'm sure behind closed doors with his teammates, he says a lot. He's talkative. And we saw it now, witnessed how he is with the European squad. This dude talks. I'm not saying he's got the game to back it up. I'm just saying he talks. And it's probably a really good teammate to have that's vocal, should I say. Even if he may not be the best fit for this roster, got to make it work while he's here. Jeffrey says, I agree with 43. Okay. Johnny Davis says, we expect some of these guys to show out, but I hope we don't stagnate this year. If not, popping move to next. We got guys waiting. If they're not popping, move to the next. We got guys waiting. I got you. Right. Hey, man, listen. If they win 50 carry, man, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Yeah, you're right. We played Ja that first game, and that is going to be a interesting one. It could be a good game for the Knicks because maybe Memphis comes out the gate slowly. It's the first game of the season, or it could be a lesson. And Memphis is like putting everybody on notice, and it starts with game one. We got to see. DJ Space Ghost in the building. What's going on? Key to the season is players staying healthy. That's 100% facts. 100%. I agree with you. So then someone getting traded. Geraldine says 35 and 38. Oof. Hope not, but I hear you. 35 to 38 wins. What are you talking about? I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't see anything pop up on my stuff. And, I gets the alerts. I gets them. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look into that if that's true or not. Lenny Joseph in the building. What's good? He said, yo, Ron, I caught you doing reviews of Power. You did a good job with that crew. Like, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Listen, I love Power, man. I'm a part of that Power universe. Don't put me on the show. I'll be an extra. I'll walk up. Wait, I can't talk about that, right? You put me in the street. I'll be on the street team. I'll move. Nah, but anyway, yeah, I really like Power. And it's really great time to whenever they ask me to be on that show, I'm always willing. I really like those guys. They're a great crew of people, man. Ron, Tiffany, and Tiara, they're really good at what they do. They watch all types of shows. They break down a bunch of stuff. So if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, it's The Spot Real Talk. That's right. It's The Spot, THE Spot, SPOT, and / Real Talk on YouTube. Check them out. Give them some love. Support the show, man. If you're into TV shows and stuff like that, they watch everything. Bricks Nation said 46 and 36. Oh, well, I guess there is an 8-player trade. Wow. Okay. I don't know why I didn't get the alert, man. I got to check with my my Bleacher Report. What's going on, man? A little slow moving. I don't know what the details are, but this is the NBA report, so I got to bring it to you. See what we're dealing with here. What's really popping, y'all? Let's click on this and see if we get anything. You would think a blockbuster, 8-player trade of any sort would be one of the headlines, right? When you go to the headlines, ESPN, it don't even pop up. Um, all right. Well, eventually, I guess it'll make its way to my feed and what I got going on here because this is crazy. I don't know why do I have Bleacher Report and these other sites if things don't update me, when I need to be updated. What do I want to hear about? Brett Favre news? No, I want to hear about 8-player trades. Oh man. Okay, so all right, guys, I got it. Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder agree on an 8-player trade. Okay. Um, well, all right. So Houston gets Derek Favors, Ty Jerome, Mo Harkless, Theo Maladon, and the 2025 second round pick. And Oklahoma City gets David Nwaba, Sterling Brown, Trey Burke, and Marquise Chris. All right. Well, I mean, it's an 8-player trade. It's not any blockbuster, but it is a trade. Interesting. I guess next week when we get into the teams a little bit more, we'll take a look at how that impacts both rosters and see what they look like. I don't know. Um, hmm. Houston gets Mo Harkless, so that's defense. Theo Maladon, that's defense. Derek Favors, solid big, and Ty Jerome, a nice addition piece. I mean, I don't know how much he's going to really add to them with all the stuff they already got over there. But the Mo Harkless being a defensive player, Theo Maladon, another defensive player, and Derek Favors being a nice big as a backup to what they got going on, or even if they want to put him as the starter and bring their big along slowly, just get him a little acclimated before he takes the job over in a few, after a few weeks or a month or so. Houston looks like they're trying to put it together, guys. At least to be not competent, yeah, competent team. Yeah, at least to be a competent team and really show that they, you know, they're trying to win. And I don't mean win like championship, but win games to be a good competent team. All right. Well, thank you guys for trying to get me to the news, man. Appreciate y'all. And then it starts to come out. Look at that. If I would have just kept going, I would have got it. Breaking news: Kevin Middleton, Thunder Rockets, 8-player trade. Yep, there you go. Nice. All right. Let me try to get through. Akuma, what's going on? Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Always good to see you in here. Kevin Middleton says Knicks fans always commenting on Brooklyn, wishing for their failures. And listen, the love hate is there, man. Look, and the Knicks fans didn't bring this on Brooklyn. Brooklyn brought this on themselves. Okay, they were the ones talking about there's nothing really moving in Brooklyn and all this stuff and blah blah. I mean, moving in New York and New York is not a fun team, and they wanted to get all cocky with it. That's why they're going through stuff. Oof. Yeah. Wow. If they put Simmons at center, oh no. I mean, that's interesting. He can rebound a little bit. I mean, he'll play good defense. He's got good height, good wingspan, but I don't know, man. They're gonna give people some matchup problems like that, though. But then they're gonna get killed when they go up against Brooklyn versus Philly. Joel Embiid against Ben Simmons. I can't wait. That'd be great. Judah, my rightness in the building. What's good? Salute. Charlie said, I heard that OKC is listening to teams about SGA. Mm. Mm. J. Rue, who you think Grimes' game is compares to? I don't know, man. At this point, I'm just gonna wait and take a look at how he, plays on the court, if healthy. Some of the new things he worked on in the summer league and stuff like that. If that translate, if he brings that to and then I'll be able to tell you. I gotta watch some games happen first to see what Grimes has been working on, so I can really tell you who I think his game reminds me of. Yeah, I'm nasal right now. It's the weather change. I don't know. Oh man. Let's see. Knicks Nation in the building. Salute. Barnes here will not be playing. Tibbs like worker, not talent. Melo is talent, not a worker. Kobe and Mike are the only talents that were relentless workers. May be the case. Let me see. Cam is more like Tracy McGrady than Paul George or Tatum. That I can agree with. Like, his game is more similar to how McGrady would play. It's just that we can't even say he's there yet. I would love to see it. Can't say he's there. Josh, a.k.a. Uncle Fulio in the building. He said, I'm still trying to figure out why fans don't like Fournier. When he got signed here, fans applauded the signing because of his three-point shooting. That's exactly what he provided. I don't get it. Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship with Fournier. And the front office is to blame, man. They didn't put – had they brought in – say we brought in a different point guard instead of Kemba, maybe a defensive type point guard who could score a little bit, add some offensive value, but he was really a good defender. And we brought in Fournier. The season might have played out differently. And then Fournier wouldn't have been linked in with the Matador defense that, followed Kemba, because that's what happens. It's just how you got to go back to what they gave up. They gave up Elfrid Payton and Bullock, really good defenders. And then you get the opposite of that. And it just plays, the narrative creates itself. I don't know. But I listen, in the end, do I think Fournier needs to go so that others can grow? Ooh, that rhymes. Yes. But if the Knicks play well, and Fournier plays well with the Knicks, if he comes into the season and he's trying on defense and he is more efficient at the free throw line and continues to be a good, solid three-point shooter for us, then I say just keep him here as long as you can keep him here, unless a trade presents itself. But if he plays well and he's doing things that impact the team in a good way, that's playing solid, like staying in front of your man and being there to help, being more efficient at the free throw line, and continuing to be somewhat efficient from three. Let it play out. That's all. I mean, but like I said, at some point, if an opportunity presents itself, you got to jump on it. Let me see here. Yeah. Well, that's it. It's because he's a gigantic defensive liability. But if the rest of the guys step up, maybe he won't be as big of a defensive liability. Maybe he'll get hidden a little bit. Like if Cam plays well, if Grimes plays well, if RJ plays better than he did last year, if Julius just plays solid basketball and doesn't let the other outside noise, affect him, you may not even notice how much of a liability that Fournier is on defense. But other stuff has to happen. That's a fact. Salute Ivan Omar. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Why are we clamoring for Grimes to replace Evan? What has Grimes done thus far? We went gaga over his performance during the Summer League. What's Summer League compared to Euro Cup? That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Well, I guess the whole thing is Fournier has had a chance to play. If Grimes gets that same opportunity, then we can really look at both of them and say who gives us the better chance to win. But I guess it's all about seeing if Fournier, not Fournier, Fournier's going to get some minutes. If Grimes can get some minutes in order to show himself, if he can, then we can compare the two. And I think this is why I go back to Tibbs making the smart decision. If you give Fournier 20 minutes and you give Grimes 18 minutes, I think that's pretty much comparable. That's fair. If Grimes doesn't look like he's playing better than Fournier, then Tibbs, by all means, you rock with Fournier and let him do his thing. But if in 18 minutes, Grimes looked like he's a better defender and he's a better scoring option because he can do more with his game than just shooting from the three. If he can get to the hoop, if he can shoot a mid-range, if he improves on his free throw percentage, then you say, well, listen, maybe I need to give Grimes more minutes. It doesn't mean he has to start, guys. It just means he needs to get the minutes to play. Doesn't have to start. Yeah, okay. So, all right, yeah. That's the thing. Like, yeah, they did know that he doesn't play defense. That is true. And that might be the issue. And yeah, Obi too. Obi doesn't play any defense. But we're still hoping for the best, man. We're still hoping that he's going to continue to grow as an offensive talent. We'll see. Yeah, the Knicks somehow, even after making those, and I think that's why they thought to do it. They thought that, hey, even if we get rid of two of our best perimeter defenders, we're still going to be an adequate defensive team. I mean, they are. I just think that, maybe the difference was not having a true point guard. We'll see. We gotta let the season play out, see how it all works. Uh-huh. A successful defense with a shot blocker and Brunson and Luke in the backcourt. I think that's more team. Okay. Yeah. All right. J-Ru, what is your prediction? How many games Knicks wins this season? I think I said it, but I'm thinking 43. At one point, I was saying 45, but I think 43 is my number. I think 43 wins, to me, is a nice number for the Knicks. It's a successful year, and if they do anything above that, I'll be extremely happy. So if they go 43 and 39, I'll be okay with that. Of course, I want more, but I would be okay with that. Yeah. All right. I think that's it for me, guys. I'm feeling all nasal. I got to blow my nose and all that. Maybe drink some tea, get some soup in me or something. I don't know. I'm not sick, but you get congested out there with the weather change. So I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. Mets Knicks fans, let's go. I like that. Got 47 wins for the Knicks. Okay. Yeah. They didn't look that bad. You think see IQ outplay Rose? Honestly, I do think that at some point, maybe IQ will be a demon out there. I don't know. I know I'm saying a lot because Rose is the NBA darling. He's the Knick darling. But we'll see. I'm not sure. I'd love to see it though. I'd love to see it because I think the only thing that's making me not sure is the fact that Derrick Rose is right now. He's healthy and he's at that playing weight at that 194 and 196. I think that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. At that playing weight, we'll see. Oh, look at that! Look at it! Look at him! Damn. Now you tune in, right? The town hall is done and he's tuning in. Yeah, right when I'm about to peace out, I'm about to say, Dile peace. But hey, you definitely have to watch some of this replay. This was a lot longer than I expected, but like I said, I wanted to get you guys as much as possible. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with me. Don't get used to this. Usually these shows are an hour. This was a treat for y'all. Thank you guys, man. Yeah, John. Appreciate you, man. Watch that replay. My guy. Peace to everybody. Let me see what Judah says right before I get out of here. He said, Ron, every team Fournier played for defense wasn't required of him. Now everyone is complaining about his defense and he won't play much defense now. Facts. I agree. But I think that the problem is, for the Knicks, we were lacking an identity. We were lacking a coach that showed us a direction. Tibbs came here. He gave us a great defensive identity, and then we sacrificed some of it. And we brought in two players that were the total opposite of that. I think it was a mistake. It just didn't work to do it that way. If it had just been one of them, maybe it would have been better. But they chose to go it's like the full Monty, man. They went all in with that. And that's probably why we can't get past it. Like I said, had we brought in a better defensive point guard and Fournier, maybe we wouldn't be looking at him as so much of a liability. It might have played out a little differently. But it played out the way it played out. So thank you guys once again for being here. I'm sorry I'm so nasal. I apologize. But it's time for me to hang it up and get myself right. Get some nice tea in me, some chamomile or something, and go from there. Appreciate you guys. Thank you once again. Tune in to this Saturday to Know the Ledge at 11 a.m. And then, you'll see us probably the following week on Thursday for the NBA report. There's not going to be an SKF weekly this Monday. Excuse me. Because the Still Knicks Fans crew is getting together. We're talking about what we're going to do for season 3, our ideas, and we're putting that stuff in motion. So next Monday, we're going to have a little sit down and kind of talk about what our plans are for going forward with the new season. And so that should be pretty fun. I'm excited about that. So no SKF weekly this week, but Know the Ledge on Saturday, and then the NBA report once again next Thursday. So thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. Appreciate y'all. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks Fans will be back again on the NBA report or just on Still Knicks Fans. Thank you guys, man. I'll see y'all. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night. Oh man, I just wanted to give an update. I don't know if you guys watching Monday Night Football, but apparently Tua was taken to the hospital. They had to take him out on the stretcher. So that's a shame, man. Tua was playing really well too. And then to come back and get hurt again, not good. Anyway, salute to y'all. We'll catch y'all. Run that.